Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about this week's project, and that is to create an ad, an advertisement. Before we do that, I want to talk about some of the things that are common to almost all ads. I want to talk about basically the anatomy of an ad. So we're going to go over a few ads, a couple of ads, and look at them and see if we can identify those things that are common elements to all of them. All right, let's look at this ad here. I'll move my little face off of here. I'll sit on his pocket here. This is a very traditional style of ad. This one, of course, selling a Coke product, but this might as well be shoes or popcorn or who knows what all else. But let's talk about some of the things that are common to this ad that are common to all ads that you see and that make up the vast majority of ads. First thing to notice, this ad has a logo. Okay? A logo is the company's image. It's something that the company has spent either years or lots and lots of money building up that should identify them immediately, and it should foster a kind of feeling, some feeling. Coca-Cola has spent, nearly a century and untold millions to develop a feeling that when you see it, you think America, stability, fun, whatever. Okay, so the logo for that company is very important that it be prominent, but oftentimes small enough that it says what it needs to say without taking up the entire space of the ad. Okay, so that's important. Now, probably the most important thing that you will find in any kind of advertisement is this. Now you see this line up here. This I don't mean this girl, although she is pretty and she's staring right at you, and so she is meant to draw your eye. But in general, what you want to see in an ad is some kind of attractive image, whether it be a person or a place or a thing, but it's something that will draw your eye and make you want to be a part of whatever that activity is. In this case, and in much advertising, they use attractive people, but that's not the only kind of image that is used. Oftentimes, and most times, you will want to have an image of the product. In this case, it's Coke. This line is a little hard to see, but it comes down here. The actual Coke bottle. Not always will the product be quite so obvious, but any good ad should show you what they're selling. Oftentimes, ads will have a slogan. Now, a slogan is like the saying. It really goes along with the logo most times. For Coke, this is something that has changed over the years. They get a new slogan every now and again. Right now, it's "Taste the Feeling." They've had different ones over the years. The slogan kind of goes along with the logo, like I said. It's not as important, so you can see obviously they've made it pretty small. Now here is a really important part. This is what we call the direction or the statement. And this is something you would just sort of think of the words that are in an ad. Oftentimes, advertisers will try to limit the number of words. They don't want you to have to spend an hour reading. They want to get their point across. So basically what they're going to do is they're either going to tell you to do something. In fact, Coke's ads used to just say, "Drink Coke." Or they're going to make a statement about their product that implies what they want you to do. And of course, in 99.9% of advertising, they are trying to get you to buy something. So in this case, they're trying to get you to buy Coke, but they usually aren't going to say, "Please go out and buy my product." They are trying to basically make it seem like, um, you would be making a good decision if a good decision for you if you went out and took advantage of their product. And so they're going to either tell you directly what they want you to do, or they're going to describe something that will make you think, oh, that's what I got to do. In this case, tastes more like Coke, looks more like Coke. Now, I don't know if that's true about zero Coke sugar. But really, and this is sort of sad, but that's sort of beside the point. There's nothing holding them accountable for saying that it looks or tastes like Coke. They can say that. It's sort of a matter of opinion, so it's not like anybody can argue with them. So whether or not it's true or not is beside the point in this case. But an ad should make a statement or give a direction. Now, this is something that is really important, and a lot of people don't think about it, but it's very important, and you'll see it in every professionally made ad. This is what's called a safe margin. A safe margin. It is basically the idea that you keep all your important parts of your ad within a certain boundary. Oftentimes it'll be 1/4 of an inch. Depends on the ad. Sometimes you go smaller, sometimes you go larger. 1/4 of an inch tends to be a pretty standard one. But you want to make sure that anything that you really want the audience to see and read needs to stay within that safe margin. Now you can see that doesn't apply to the image itself. The image goes all the way to the edge, and that's okay. That's called a full bleed image. And a full bleed image is one that goes, there is no white space around it, and therefore there's no separation. You are part of it. You're right there. The white frame around it that you see around photographs or pictures, or when you print something off on the printer, that tends to separate you from the image. But when the image goes all the way to the edge, it feels like you are part of it, which is definitely what they want. But you need to make sure you keep anything like this, logos, information, that needs to stay inside a cushion. And that's because if you put things right to the edge of almost any kind of graphic design, things right on the edge feel unbalanced. They feel like they are in danger of being cut off. They feel like they are in danger of falling off the edge. Even if such a thing is irrational, that's the way we feel when we see something like that. And you don't want your client to feel that way. You don't want the audience to feel that way. So we try to keep things in where they're safe. Now that, of course, doesn't apply to everything. And you can see the last thing we're going to mention is the small print. A lot of times advertisers will try to fit information that they're not quite as concerned about, but maybe they have to put it on there. Oftentimes the photographer's name goes there, or maybe like Coca-Cola says, all rights reserved, so they don't want you to go out and use their product to advertise something else. Sometimes it's a website where you can get more information. Sometimes it's a phone number. If those things are not super important, the designer will often try to sort of just tuck them in to a hidden spot. So that is pretty much a good collection of the main parts of an ad. There might be a few others that I missed, but that's going to be the main ones. Now let's look at another ad. You are going to be doing a travel ad. And so let's see if we can identify some of the parts of a travel ad, just so you can kind of get a look at it. So these are all going to be the same parts that we looked at in the last ad. There will be a few different spots. All right, number one, let's start out with the logo. Okay. This case, this is the state of Arizona trying to get people to come visit them. But every state, every destination pretty much has branded itself. They've gotten a logo made for themselves so that they have a continuous look across all their advertising. And that can be really important. So Arizona spent a bunch of money to have their, this font, set in a particular way with this little graphic right above it and the word Grand Canyon State underneath it. And it looks that way on all of their ads. So there's the logo. Now, we also need the good old attractive image. Now, that guy, I don't know how attractive he is, but this activity that they're displaying with this beautiful picture and this activity, that is what is drawing your eye, and it is making you want to be a part of this, in theory. So that is the attractive image. But it is also, in this case, the product. Okay, and sometimes the image, the main image of an ad and the product are one and the same. In this case, the product that Arizona is selling is this beautiful scenery with this exciting activity. Interestingly enough, there are very few lakes in Arizona, so it's interesting to me that they sort of are marketing themselves this way. But Lake Havasu is very pretty. We also need a slogan, right? Okay. In this case, your story starts here. That is the slogan. Arizona is able to use that slogan across a bunch of different ads. They can advertise lots of different places, and on each of those ads, your story starts here. That kind of is the same thing across all the different pieces of advertising. But they also need direction and a statement. And in this case, kind of like the picture, the direction and statement and the slogan kind of go hand in hand, and the slogan becomes part of that statement. Your story starts here, and then it starts with a leap. The direction is let yourself go, presumably let yourself go to Arizona. And we have the good old safety margin here, which you can see this ad stays even well within that safety margin. So, but again, it's real important that you stay inside that edge, stay away from those edges. So let's talk about what your assignment is. I want you to create an ad, a travel ad. Now, the client is your choice, but I want this ad to focus on you getting people to go somewhere, maybe to go do something, but it's somewhere else. So you need to find 4 ads for inspiration. These can be copied and pasted into your sketchbook, or you can sketch them out, but I want you to look up travel ads, and I want you to find 4 of them to get some ideas for the ways different agencies will create ads to try to talk people about traveling. I want you to do a loose compositional sketch for your ad. Basically, that means just a general rectangle and then general idea where you want things to be, like the title, the image, the logo, that kind of thing. Now keep in mind, if you pick somewhere that's make-believe, like Narnia, that you want people to go, you're going to have to come up with a logo for Narnia, which is kind of fun, but just keep that in mind. Most importantly, however, your ad must be 8 inches by 6 inches. 8 inches wide by 6 inches tall. This is very important. As a graphic designer, you don't get to choose what size things are because they are for very specific publications. So that is going to be really important that you pay attention and that your ad is 8 inches wide by 6 inches tall. Now you can paint it, you can draw it, you can sketch it, you can do it on the computer if you feel like you have those capabilities. It's fine, but 8 inches by 6 inches, and I need you to add in all those things that we talked about. All right, good luck, and I will be back, and we can talk about it later if you need to. Until then, call me, email me, or let me know if you have any trouble. Thanks a lot.